Well, sometimes the start of each half was crazy good. And, the good thing about the second half was we didn't we didn't give it all back right away. And to Providence's credit, I think, when you're 1-12 and you're on the road and you get down 12-0, I was impressed that they, kind of righted themselves and played with so much efficiency the rest of the half. Like we had a hard time guarding them in the first half. We made an adjustment in the way we defended the ball screen in the second half. And then we talked about just trying to wear them down. I mean, in some ways the press doesn't fit against them because they are quick at the guard, but it fits against them because of their lack of depth. So we kind of just made a decision that even though they're quicker than us, we wanted to press to try to wear them down and take away their legs in the second half. And that was, but we got exposed a little bit in the first half because we weren't quite conservative enough sometimes, and they got some easy baskets out of our press. But I thought it did what it was intended to do in terms of it made it a little more difficult for them once they got tired. And Ken's continues to score the ball for us, and that's a big thing for us. If you think back early in the year when we were more dependent on Sarah and Marissa to both have good games, and now we're in a position where Mackenzie's confidence is probably at an all-time high, and so that's a good thing. So anyway, good win. The rebounding was satisfying. I talked to the team before the game about. I felt like we had really made some strides rebounding wise. Marquette, Seton Hall, and Georgetown, three really good rebounding teams that we played in a row, and we really emphasized rebounding. We did a good job. And then DePaul, who's not necessarily a great rebounding team, but does a lot of, we focused on a lot of other things, and we didn't talk about rebounding. We got out rebounded by 12. And not to say that's why we lost, but it certainly contributed. So, we challenged them to be a better rebounding team. And Providence has struggled to rebound, and obviously today was a big deal to out-rebound them the way we did.
To contrast the two starts, where you made your first 4 shots from 3 in the first half, the second half looked like it was more feeding off of your defense and getting stops. Which one do you like to see?
Yeah, I think as a coach, well, I mean, one they played zone the first. They had the last 4 or 5 games they've become a zone team. But I think when you get down 12, she made an immediate adjustment at 12-0 and didn't. So in some ways, our shots were good shots. But it is a little bit fool's gold because we then thought that we could take kind of good threes instead of good threes, and we started missing. And so, yeah, I'm probably more pleased with the second half. But again, it was because they were playing man instead of zone, and sometimes, we've become better at driving the ball. And yeah, I agree. Our defense was better. Our defense was, just changing. We should have defended. It's my fault. We should have defended the ball screen differently. By midway through the first half, and we had worked on defending it that way the first time we played them, and we didn't. We decided not to do it that way today, and so it was easy to kind of just say, "Hey, look, we're going to go back and defend it the way we."
I don't know, luck. I don't know. I think that's just we've struggled on the glass a lot this season, and in the Big East, they're obviously stronger, tougher teams, and it's something that we really got to do, especially as a smaller team in the Big East. And so I think Flan really emphasizes it, and I've kind of taken it personally that as like a post that we're getting beat on the glass. And I think honestly for me, the Butler game is kind of what turned it around. Like there were a couple times I gave up some boards I shouldn't have given up, and it was just one of those moments where I was like, I'm not doing what I need to be doing as a post player, and I'm not like setting it like kind of like getting it started and like making like the guards almost feel like they can like get in there and get those boards. So I think it's just a mentality thing, like knowing you're going to get everyone.
After the hot start from outside, you guys got them a cold, which you kind of kept settling for them. At what point did you guys switch and decide to attack more?
Flan just didn't even really say that much. He didn't tell us not to shoot them, but he was like, there's a difference between a good 3 and a great 3. And I think we did start, it was kind of one of those things where everyone starts hitting a three, everyone wants to join the party, and I think that sometimes settling for threes isn't what we want to do, just because we've always been a pretty good three-shooting team, but at the same time, like, obviously they're a lower percentage shot than, like, getting in and getting a layup. And so I think it was just one of those things when we were stuck at 13 for I don't know how long, a while, that it was just we kind of needed to start slashing in and get some easy points. So.
Has Flynn talked to you at all about the rebounding effort today? What is it for you guys as far as how it's going?
He didn't even really say that much. He just, at the beginning of the game, he was like, we have done a really good job on the boards. There's something we emphasized probably about, I think the Marquette game is really when it started, the emphasis, and that we really need to get the boards. And I think before the game today, he was like, we've done a really good job. And then DePaul, we really kind of slacked off just because we didn't necessarily focus on it. And so I think he was like, let's take it like personally and really get some boards today. So I'm glad we won on the glass. So no rebounding drills. I'm okay with that.
Yeah, like Sarah said, he was just talking about a good shot versus a great shot, and I think we kind of got a little sped up, and everybody was kind of excited and ready to shoot, and he just told us to kind of work the ball around and get some good backdoor cuts, and that will open up the three again. So, yeah, he was just telling us to kind of move the ball around and be patient and not go quite so fast in offense.
I guess the team as a whole really rebounded. Sarah kind of led the way, but I think you had 4 different players with at least 7. You know, just talk about the execution in that area. I know it's been a point of emphasis with an undersized team, but to kind of have that type of result down low, what do you guys see down there, and how do you think you guys perform on the boards?
I thought we did pretty well today. I mean, there's always room for improvement, obviously, but it has been a big point of emphasis for us lately. Flane's really been kind of harping on it, and in practice we do a lot of rebounding and that kind of stuff. So we just know that if we're going to beat teams by 20 on the boards, it's kind of hard to not get extra shots and not get the game kind of moving up and down the floor. So it's just kind of been maybe a benefit to us when we do out-rebound. So we just kind of have been emphasized and like focusing on that just so that we can have that little advantage that we need.
The 85 points obviously has been difficult to beat you guys when you scored that, but it was the series of stops at the beginning of the second half that kind of opened it up a little bit. What adjustments did you guys make at halftime to kind of slow them down and get them out of their rhythm?
Their ball screen action was really hurting us in the first half, and we did kind of change up our defense on that. And we went to more of we call it ice, but it's just we deny on the top. So it was just a little bit more pressure on them to maybe change what they're doing. And I think it did help us a little bit, the way that we kind of did that, and it forced a little bit more pressure on them and maybe turnovers. But, yeah, that was the main thing that we kind of talked about in halftime and how to really defend that. So